We first got the warning probably 18 months ago. It came to the point where we couldn't basically do any events. Obviously, it was making it harder for the algorithm and Meta to get the right signals. Some of them were quoting us ridiculous amounts of money, up to £500,000 a year. Compliance has to be ahead of growth. Otherwise, you're playing the short game. We spoke to some other vendors in the space. We implemented our own pixel solution, kind of replicate these bigger brands. None of them really worked. Harry from CustomerLabs reached out. We got on a call. It's been great. It's made us fully compliant. One word for CustomerLabs, 1PD Ops, amazing. They've exceeded all of our expectations. Great pricing compared to the other solutions we looked at. Hi, my name's Dave Lane. I'm the head of performance at AIOS, responsible for brands such as Bolt Pharmacy, Filler Health, and Join Delilah, to name a few. Mainly focused on ads, CRO, creative, anything on the performance side for scaling and to grow our brands compliant, but with great marketing and growth. We first got the warning probably 18 months ago. Then nothing happened for 9 months. Where we were getting the warning that this might happen, nothing happened. And then 9 months ago, we got the warning this was happening. And it started off with the lower level of the restrictions, so we could still track some custom events. And then at a later stage, it came to the point where we couldn't basically do any events other than like page views and things like this. Immediate reaction was to look at alternatives. We looked at some of the other alternatives in the space. Some of them were quoting us £250,000, £500,000 a year for our spend level and amount of data and customers that we have to provide a solution for this. We also looked to implement our own in-house solution that stripped all PHI data to get a theme pixel, which worked with limited success. It was kind of a better solution, but it still wasn't a great solution. Well, we use AIOS for data, so we were still running ads, but of course, with no signals or limited signals going back to Meta and the pixel, the performance started to deteriorate, which is expected. So we were still spending significant money, but obviously it was making it harder for the algorithm and Meta to get the right signals and improve performance over time. So it definitely slowed down our growth, and it was a worrying time, honestly, for us as a growth company. So yeah, again, as I said, we tried custom events. We spoke to some other vendors in the space. We implemented our own pixel solution, kind of replicate what these bigger brands were quoting us in ridiculous amounts of money, up to £500,000 a year. None of them really worked, although some worked better than others. I said we tried everything. This was over many months. I think Harry reached out to me. I think I had posted on LinkedIn looking for some recommendations. Harry from CustomerLabs reached out. We got on a call. I won't lie. When we first had the call, I didn't truly believe that the solution he had was going to be as simple as he said it would be. But it's been great. It's made us fully compliant. It's solved our issues. It's meant that we've been able to continue good growth. We don't have to worry about this. They monitor the health of our events and match quality and work on that and give us suggestions. We get a daily digest email that knows if there's any issues or anomalies with events peaking or dropping significantly, so we can get ahead of things and be proactive with any issues that might be coming up. Well, again, we use AIOS, which is our source of truth. So we were still doing good performance. But of course, it meant more manual override of Meta's algorithm decisions, which were making the wrong decisions because obviously it lost access to purchased add to cart lead data. So it was getting clicks, but obviously it didn't have the visibility on which of those clicks returns leads add to cart sales. So once we fixed this, performance took a step change up and has been stable ever since. Firstly, is be on top of the regulations. If you're in the UK, you need to be on top of all Meta advertising regulations around prescription medications. It's very different to other countries, especially America, which is far more open. Obviously, you need to be aware of the ASA's guidelines for advertising in the UK. And again, we're just about to get ready to go into other countries and trying to get ahead of this. The main thing is compliance has to be ahead of growth. Otherwise, you're playing the short game. You might get great results if you're not compliant. When we see these companies pop up and they're breaking every rule, they might get good performance for a while, but it's not a long-term solution. So at the scale we're at now, it's very important that we stay compliant. And I would recommend any brand, if they want to stay in for the long game, they have to be compliant before they start to do anything else. Compliance Although if you asked me a few years ago, it would have been scale first when we were smaller. Annoying. I'm already seeing this already. We had it on Apple Oven. They followed Meta's lead pretty soon after. And again, we were spending a lot on Apple Oven. As soon as that happened, our performance tanked. So I imagine this is the start of something bigger and it will keep going. So I think we are in a great position, a competitive advantage that we do have a better solution than most of our players in our space right now. Amazing. They've exceeded all of our expectations. Very happy with the pricing. Again, ridiculously great pricing compared to the other solutions we looked at.